It's always tempting to say I'd like to dispense with my prepared remarks, and I will very briefly. If you had told me 50 years ago today that I would have taken the place of a gray-haired, bespectacled gentleman who stared out at me, not that I was getting a prize, understand, and I was sitting where you were sitting, I never would have believed it. However, I do have faith that at least one or two, or maybe even three of you, misguided as you may feel it is right now, will end up having the great pleasure and privilege that I've had to work with people your age over all these many years that have intervened in those years as well. And I'm sure you'll do a wonderful job. So good afternoon and welcome to the Senior Prize Assembly. This afternoon, the school's academic departments will confer a range of prizes on individuals from the class of 2015, recognition of their breadth and depth of learning, their present achievement, and promise for excellence in future study. I urge you not to lose your prizes. I already have the mug that Mr. Stone gave me this morning, firmly placed next to the bed. Keep those prizes. If nothing else, your children will have fun with them, rooting around in a closet, in a basement. That horrible teenage voice will ring out, "Mom, what's this book that says you won the chemistry prize? What's that all about? Did they have science then?" You will discover that, like you, your children will be clever that way. I suggest this as I found my mother's poetry trophy from Purdue a few years ago. Purdue? Poetry? Mom? A poet? I didn't know it. So hold on to that prize. I think you will find it'll grow with you, and it'll be more than just a moment in May of 2015. Usually now I turn to introduce the department heads who will in turn present named awards and subject prizes, particular to their fields. But I'm going to step in for a moment and suddenly become Mrs. McGough-Multany. As you may recall, we did not have the prizes. We have them. And I would like to bestow then the Wyeth Yearbook prizes today and ask the recipients to come up. And this year the Wyeth Yearbook prize is given to Melissa Carly Levinson, Young Kwan Kim, and Lucy Victoria Collingwood. And now it gives me particular pleasure to present for the Classics Department of Blair Academy, Mr. Eric Lunger.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. Given in honor of Blair's 10th headmaster, the Charles H. Breed Latin Prize recognizes outstanding achievement in the study of Latin literature. This year's recipient has shown a single-minded dedication to excellence. Pardon me, that's incorrect. He has shown a subtle-minded dexterity in all areas of Latin scholarship. He thinks clearly, he writes cogently, translates accurately, and is never satisfied with anything but his very best. I am most proud to award the Charles H. Breed Latin Prize to Peter Beer. And now Mr. Adams with computer science.
To that student who most excels in the field of computer science. The Derlin Prize was named after the family whose generosity made possible the first computer lab here at Blair Academy. Today's recipient excelled not only in his mastery of the Java programming language, but was the first recourse of his peer students who invariably looked to him to have the right answer to every problem. So with great pleasure, I present the Derlin Prize to Cam Fallon. Now, Mr. Brandwood from the English Department.
Make a deal. I won't talk about elephants if you don't go to sleep, Robin. It's one of those in-jokes. The Dumont English Prize is awarded to members of the senior class who ranked highest in English. Presented in memory of the late Senator Wayne Dumont and his father, Wayne Dumont Sr., by Mrs. Helen Dumont. This year there are 2 recipients of the Dumont English Prize. For the first, Mr. Bruder writes, "This student put to good effect a gift for synthesis and analysis in her expository essays, as well as a scholar's willingness to provide the relevant detail and intellectual balance to probe fairly even the most divisive topics. Perhaps most impressive is that her work ethic is as much a product of her genuine curiosity in language and the world around her as it is a desire to achieve excellence." At the second, Ms. Shomers writes, "This student's approach to his coursework in AP language has been excellent. He's curious, insightful and creative thinker, a true scholar of the subject. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with him this year." The Dumont Prize winners for 2015 are Grace Chamberlain and Luke Ciansera. The Robert F. Harris Memorial Trophy is awarded to a member of the senior class for special interest and outstanding achievement in the study of English literature. There are 2 recipients of the Harris Trophy. For the first, Mr. Evans writes, "Chase was a careful and persuasive writer who took the time to evaluate his theses thoroughly, support his arguments strongly, and polish his prose to make the most effective case. He did not always contribute in class, but when he did, he stated his case with intelligence and respect for the opinions of his classmates." For the second, Ms. Shomers writes, "Naturally curious, Zoe has embraced the unique rhetorical approach of AP language. She brings passion and purpose to the classroom, insight and intellect to her essays, and energy and engagement to our discussions." The Robert F. Harris Memorial Trophy for 2015 is awarded to Chase Palanca and Zoe Brown. The Edith Jeffrey Shakespeare Prize was established by Dr. Alan Jeffrey, parent of Aaron, 94, in 2004 in memory of his mother to support an annual prize. The prize is awarded to Blair Academy students based on essays related to the works of William Shakespeare, essays which will be published on the school's website. This year, the Blair Academy English Department is proud to recognise Toby Long for his comparative essay on King Lear and Jane Smiley's 1,000 Acres. I was smiling before because I realised I was having difficulty reading my script. I realised I wasn't wearing my glasses. I'd like to take this opportunity, actually for the first time, to award the prizes for the senior public speaking competition that was held a week ago today. We usually do it at school meeting, but it seemed to be apt and appropriate to do so now. If you were here, you were presented with some terrific speeches, really strong competition across the board. The judges had a difficult time, but this is what they came up with. In third place for their funny and inventive speeches, a tie prize, Zoe Brown and Peter Bierce. I'll read the others. In second place for her poised, pitch-perfect personal speech, Brie Kavanagh, and for her entertaining, creative, inimitable performance, Taylor Hunt. Sykes for final.
I am very honored to give several prizes tonight. First, the photo prize. Over the course of the last 2 years, Nisha's work has shifted from capturing fleeting glimpses of time to the rendering of carefully calculated portraits that are emotionally weighty. Haley has come to understand the emotional gravity of her work throughout the last year. As she has matured as an artist, she has learned to take responsibility for the message behind the images and to prompt the disquieting questions that live in us all. The Photo Lab has been lucky to have been graced with Haley's presence. The photo prize is presented to Nisha Gupta and Haley Krobach. The recipient of the Design Prize has diligently designed and created a bounty of work for her Blair clients this year. She is an amazing person in and out of the classroom. The Design Prize goes to Cy Lippold, who proves time and time again that big talent can come in small packages, especially when you aren't afraid of hard work. Come on up, Cy. We are pleased to announce that the Video Prize has been named for former Blair faculty members Judith and Stephen Campman, great friends, who initiated the Blair Video program in 2000. The first recipient spent the last 3 years making montages to celebrate small milestones of the lives of her friends. The second recipient has produced intimate autobiographical films with a keen sense of cinematic pacing. The Campman Video Prize goes to Sophia Alganian and Dan Becker. This student facilitated a series of informal critiques in her class, offering her fellow students the opportunity to continually learn from each other. Her dedication to her own practice extended to her dedication to her peers, and she generated a strong sense of community in the art room. She is Gem. The Spirit of the Art Department award goes to Brooke Reynolds. The Art Award award this year goes to two friends who buttressed each other's work by collaborating at many stages of the production process. The first recipient's breathtaking cinematography has won him numerous awards in professional film festivals. The second recipient drew an animation that brought tears to our eyes at the film festival. The art award goes to Lucas Dong and Dennis Kim. And next up, my friend Jason Beck for the History Prize.
Good afternoon. It is my honor today to present the Paul White Prize for Excellence in the Study of History on behalf of the department. This year's winners represent the very best in what the department strives to impart: critical reading, analytical writing, effective class discussion, and a commitment to the issues facing the world today with the knowledge of the context of their history. Our winners are Justin Ernsting and Rachel Troy. Now, Mr. Devaney.
First with French. The Marguerite Dayson Haberman Memorial Prize in French is awarded to that student who has distinguished him or herself by excellent achievement, dedication, and love for the French language and culture, and who reflects the ideals by which Mrs. Haberman herself was guided. This prize was established in the year 2000 by Mr. Michael Haberman, Blair class of 1941, in honor of his wife. Despite the choice of the winner, that this student is a positive and committed student who came to class each day with a can-do attitude. Blessed with a marvelous ear for languages, the winner still made improvement of oral expression a top priority. The winner's remarks during literature discussions helped propel the class's comprehension to higher levels. Moreover, this student always asked important questions, either about how the language functioned or the nuances of a text. The student's delight and intellectual inquiry make him one of the best candidates for advanced language study at the college level that I have encountered in quite a long time. His determination and enthusiasm will serve him well as he travels north to Connecticut College in the fall. The winner of the 2015 Haberman Memorial Prize in French is Caleb Nadeau. And now for Spanish. This student, from the beginning of his language studies at Blair, displayed a curiosity about the language, matched by an ability to assimilate new rules in varied situations. Over the years, his written expression matured as the depth and breadth of his understanding of the Spanish-speaking world developed. His voice literally grew stronger, and he began to connect Spanish language, customs, and history to other areas of study, allowing him to reach a level in his writing that is rarely seen at the high school level. This student's singular clarity of thought came nearly unblemished through his second language and resulted in meaningful contributions to class discussions and thought-provoking persuasive essays at the AP level. This year's Spanish prize goes to Luke Sansorelli. And finally, the prize for outstanding achievement in a foreign language is one which the department awards only when there is a student who has shown him or herself to be dedicated to and proficient in 2 foreign languages at Blair. This year's recipient reached the AP level in Spanish and the 3 honors level in French. In both language classes, she forces herself into a zone in which she speaks fearlessly and completely in the target language, never confusing French, Spanish, and English. She works hard to ensure that she is well-versed on every new topic and brings valuable contributions to class discussions with well-supported opinions. The talented, insightful, and dedicated recipient of the prize for outstanding achievement in a foreign language is Sophie Palmer. Rouse.
I have just one prize to give today, but it's the math prize, so get ready for it. A lot of you tied for second in my calculus class, but I have to say, that's only one winner. There'll be no hugging, no crying, don't worry about it. The Winston D. Ewing Prize for Mathematics is given to the outstanding mathematics student in the senior class. It is named after and given in honor of Blair's long-serving math department chairman, Win Ewing, who retired in 1986. The winner of the Ewing Prize is the top senior in multivariable calculus, a class that was developed especially to provide opportunities to those few students whose expertise in the discipline had already surpassed the traditional offerings. Kwok's ability in the classroom, combined with his enthusiasm in discipline, make him a fitting recipient of this award. The math department is proud to award the Winston D. Ewing Prize to Kwok Nguyen. Performing arts, my bad.
I have the honor of presenting several awards in the areas of technical theater, and music. The Dale Rosenson Dramatics Prize is given in memory of Dale Rosenson, class of '72, and is presented to a senior who has demonstrated dedication, imagination, and proficiency in lighting, sound, special effects, and set management for theater productions at Blair. Mr. Rasmussen writes, this year the Rosenson Prize is awarded to two students. The first, a four-year contributor to the Blair Academy Players. She began her theater career as a valued member of two technical crews for the winter musicals. During her junior and senior years, she became the student director for Bye Bye Birdie and The Mystery of Edwin Drood, and honed her skills as the stage manager for the run of both shows. The second, a three-year student, was an essential member of three technical crews for Seussical, Bye Bye Birdie, and The Mystery of Edwin Drood. After contributing her artistic ability to the build of each show, she was a stalwart as a spotlight operator for the performances, successfully accomplishing the most difficult job in the theater. Both students have been integral members of Focus throughout their careers, lending their essential assistance to the technical requirements of school meetings and chapels. The winners of the Rosenson Prize are Phoebe Dopoulos and Serena Rawls-Futch. The Harris Dramatics Prize is given to the outstanding senior theater student, and this year there are three recipients. Of the first two, Mr. Evans writes, Sean is one of the most dependable and motivated actors to have ever appeared on the Blair Academy Players stages. He's a musical and a drama guy, so he has racked up quite a career in his time here. His senior year showed how far he had come. The comedy lead in A Flea in Her Ear, the narrating chairman in The Mystery of Edwin Drood, and the comic romantic role of Dave in Almost Maine. Sean is a director's dream, learning his lines early, coming to every rehearsal, and helping out with technical and set aspects when needed. He was a leader by example and talent in the Academy Players. And the second, Corinne was a star of the Academy Players stage from her freshman year on, and she never gave up the spotlight. Her storied career ended with two phenomenal roles in her senior year, the title roles in The Mystery of Edwin Drood and the Story of Hope scene in Almost Maine. The only ones who loved her more on stage were the Geese whenever she appeared on stage at the Robert J. Evans Open Air Theater, where she starred for 3 of her 4 years, taking 1 year off to play Emily in Our Town. She is a true example of the player's motto, pride and poise. And of the third winner, Mrs. McMillan writes, this four-year player's powerhouse has convincingly portrayed characters both diverse and disparate. Any given season has Tyler playing a crucial role, and this year alone we saw him as a clueless husband in a turn of the 20th century farce, the Jekyll and Hyde choir master in a Victorian murder mystery musical, and a blue-collared Midwestern bachelor who gets guilted into marriage in a classic American drama. Each and every time Tyler has appeared on stage to create for the audience the magic of the suspension of disbelief, hours and days and weeks and months of impeccable work ethic and dedication came first. And, well, some talent doesn't hurt either. Further, he is one of the most rewarding and, quite simply, fun students with whom to work. His outstanding professionalism, personal warmth, and goofy good humor will be missed. Congratulations to this year's Harris Dramatics Prize winners, Sean Callahan, Corinne DiFrancesco, and Tyler Brooks. In for the music awards. Before I give out these awards, I'd just like to say this particular senior class is arguably the most musically talented group of students that I've worked with in my 10 years at Blair. And what you have accomplished as individuals and collectively during your time here is remarkable. You have given so much to this program and to this school, and I will miss each and every one of you next year. The Everly Memorial Award in Music is awarded to the two accomplished musical leaders this year. The first winner is a budding, versatile vocalist who performs every style from pop to musical theater to classical with great prowess. From leading singers and displaying her talents in the winter musicals, to co-directing and arranging music for a cappella, and even lending her voice to the jazz ensemble, this passionate, driven talent has done it all with poise and artistry. Hard work and dedication to her many pursuits set an inspiring example for others to follow. And the second winner is one whose love and curiosity for music have led him to some exciting places so far in his life. Also a versatile musician, he has made his way through a number of vocal and instrumental ensembles at Blair with great distinction. His technical proficiency is only rivaled by his ability to delve deeply into the music, to understand both the historical and theoretical context, and to bring those details to life during performance. His love for what he does never fails to shine through and is contagious to those around him. It is a pleasure to present this year's Everly Award to Corinne DiFrancesco and Luke Sansarelli. And the Harding Memorial Award is given to that senior who has contributed most to the school's ensemble during his or her time at Blair. This year's winner has participated in orchestra and jazz ensemble for 4 years and singers and chamber choir for 3 years. And during those years, he has been the backbone of the tenor section, principal clarinetist, and a very creative jazz improviser. He's known for his tremendous music reading skills, nuanced phrasing, and his technical proficiency. At every concert, we could count on him to transition seamlessly between each ensemble and to maintain the highest standard of excellence while juggling a vast amount of music. This year's Harding Memorial Award goes to Dan Kim. And now Mr. Wilson for the sciences.
Dan walks around like he's on a mission, man. I have to say, I've been really looking forward to this moment all year. Except for these chairs, I couldn't figure out how to sit in them. I kept like sliding out of it. Anyways, I'm here to present the two but not one prize, right? So we got the AP Science Prize, 2 prizes, two prizes. AP Science Prize and a new prize as well, but I'll start with the AP Science Prize, which is presented to that student who exhibits an overwhelming passion and commitment towards science and who has written a superior academic record in multiple AP Sciences. Those of you who know Cam can attest to the fact that he is a genius. He's one of the only people I know who can sit with Dr. Sayers and hold court about many issues in our universe. When you hear them go at it, it's like they are both from some far distant future sent back to offer a few spoilers to present society. That said, clearly not the average mortal, Cam has excelled in chemistry, physics, post-AP science, and is probably one of the only high school students who can claim he single-handedly conducted a measurement to determine the charge of an electron. Yeah, that's super geeky stuff, I'm sorry. That said, it has been an honor to work with Cam this year in AP Physics and witness his intellectual might firsthand. This year's AP prize goes to Huang Fa. It is my special honor this evening to present, for the first time, the Donald E. Lawshe Prize, which is presented in memory of Donald E. Lawshe, former physics teacher at Blair, for his devotion and service to our school and science students. This award is presented to that student who has consistently demonstrated a passion for science and a dedication to interests beyond the classroom. When we thought up this award and its description, we wanted to make sure it was a reflection of the values that Don has as a teacher and a mentor. Don was committed to making physics a discipline that all of his students would appreciate and master. He modeled his courses based on the fact that what we teach has physical and practical consequences, and he was intent on making sure that his students left with a fundamental understanding of what makes the world operate the way it does. In my first few years at the school, I also benefited from Don's mentorship and support, and I am thankful to have called him a good friend. Don was a great lunch buddy. It was never a dull moment at the science table with Don, especially when he was yelling at people about their dress code. I'm happy to say that Mrs. Lawshe and Tim Lawshe, Don's youngest son, are here today for this inaugural presentation for the Lawshe Prize. And the recipient, afterwards, we'd like to take some pictures, so don't disappear. That said, I did not have the opportunity to teach Maya, which is probably a good thing, as I don't think she could have handled additional doses of my sass outside of track practice. That said, as her teachers can attest, it is clear that her work in science while at Blair has been exceptional. Ms. Haddon speaks. Maya has a general interest in science. She is dedicated to the process of learning and strives to do her very best in all aspects of her education. Maya is a pleasure to teach and an inspiration. Mrs. Stone writes, Maya's passion for all things science runs deep. She approached EPI with relentless intent. Always wanted to know how I can apply this scientific framework to solve the maddening problems in the world. Dr. Schuster writes, in biotechnology, she was able to pursue a strong personal interest and to share her interest and experience with the class whenever she speaks about topics in science, whether for an assignment, as part of classroom discussion, or in a casual conversation. Her passion and dedication to her interests are evident. It has been an absolute pleasure to get to know Maya, both to teach and to learn from her these past 3 years. If it is not clear, Maya has taken pretty much every class we have to offer. And while doing so, has earned the utmost respect of her teachers and her peers. Congratulations, Maya, you are the recipient of the Lawshe Prize. And now Mr. Stone for the athletic recognition.
The Senior Athletic Award, established in 1997, is given to those athletes who have earned 6 or more varsity letters during their careers at Blair. These dedicated student athletes have been the core of our program, and their commitment to multiple sports have made a tremendous impact on our school. I will now announce the winners, and at the end of the assembly, please come on stage to receive your award. We have a large list. Boys: Cooper Clark, Eric Flora, Kevin Holliday, Mark Jones, Brett Lebreski, Andrew Monahan, Naeem Pretlow, David Shonaby, R.J. Stein, Christian Sook, and Max Wu. And girls: Bree Kavanaugh, Grace Chamberlain, Haley Krobach, Mallory Fahey, Maya Gibbs, Rachel Hoffman, Shay Lawless, Jill McKenna, Natalie Pearson, Brooke Reynolds, Elizabeth Sexton, Shannon Tierney, Morgan Vallejo, Lauren Bostel, Emily Wan, and Casey Whitty. Congratulations. Stone.
The James M. Howard Jr. Fellowship Prize. Several years ago, an alumnus established a fund to provide support each year to one faculty member early in his or her career at Blair who has made a special distinction and impact on the community. The guidelines of the fund require that students be involved in selecting the recipient. And so we ask our class council members to participate in this process each spring. The award winner is described as someone who has inspired his or her students in the Blair community with energetic leadership and outstanding involvement in the life of the school, and who is committed to pursuing a career in independent education. When many of you first sat in the classroom of this year's recipient last fall, you were a bit uneasy. This was hard. Week by week, however, his passion and persistence won you over. Likewise, as you spent time in West Hall, immersed in witty and insightful conversation, you were stunned to uncover the depth and breadth of his thoughts, his journey, and his commitment to all of you. And of course, his chapel speech earlier this year exemplified what sits at our foundation as a school: intelligence, courage, empathy, and challenge. Challenge to be our best selves. It is no surprise then that you seize this opportunity to celebrate Mr. Hurtado and his powerful impact on this community in just 9 short months. It is my great pleasure to present this year's James M. Howard Jr. Fellowship Prize to Pedro Hurtado.
Before we conclude tonight's events, although I'm sure Mr. Bacon will protest, I wanted to take one more opportunity to recognize 2 people on this stage who will be leaving us, retiring from Blair, who have contributed so very much to the academic and the spiritual life of our community, Reverend Crowner and Mr. Bacon. Thank you both. So we've arrived at the conclusion of the Senior Prize Assembly. This will be one of several important events, opportunities to honor your work throughout the course of this week. Congratulations to all of you, for those who were recognized for your achievements today. Your dedication to learning and developing as scholars and performers and athletes, frankly, they serve as an inspiration to all of us. And they're a wonderful model for all of us, all of you, who aspire to be on this stage in years to come. Of course, there are victories and breakthroughs and accomplishments that, while not recognized on this stage today, are no less valuable and are deserving of our respect and commendation. You're an impressive class on so many dimensions, and your individual achievements are only eclipsed by what you've accomplished here collectively. I want to thank all in this room and those beyond this room who have been your teachers and your cheerleaders, your confidants, and your coaches, your admirers and your mentors. who, whether from behind the scenes or sometimes right up in your face, have helped you to get here today. Seniors and all of who have supported you here today, we're proud of you. I'm very proud of you, and I congratulate you. Have a wonderful evening. But don't have a wonderful evening before the benediction.
So let us pray. Holy One, source of all creativity, bless these talented young people so that they might fulfill your will for their lives. Help them to find their place in our world so that they can use their considerable gifts to help make it also a reflection of your will. A world of compassion, healing, justice, peace, and love. We ask this in your most holy name. Amen. Now, seniors, go forth and enjoy your last few days.